Hello, all of you. Here we begin with one of the most interesting but vast chapter in the income tax, that is called as business head. Business head is the pumping heart, not only in inter and in final also. Your question number one only, wherein you don't have a choice, attempt karna hai ya nahi, but you can attempt it in 3 hours anywhere. But question number one is compulsory, wherein you have to, they'll give you a P&L account and you have to compute his income from business and profession. Same is case in final exams. In final exam, the question number one is compute the business income of a company with the help of the concepts what I'm teaching now and the concepts of math, right? Okay. So now we are beginning with business head. Every head, there are 5 heads of income. Every head has chargeability section. Okay. Yeah, one thing as I start, dear students, what I'm going to do is I'll refer the running notes, what we have, the material, and our booster notes, which I have written. Booster notes, my writing is not so good. You can check it now. I'll share it with all of you in the screen. So I'm getting it typed over the period and sharing it with all of you. Already I've shared booster notes of residential status, salary, house property, that is done. And all these booster notes which I'm referring on screen, they are very much nice gist of the whole chapter, comparative tables. It's going to be very clear. You can download Concept Classes app from the description below. And in the free study material, all these PDFs are uploaded. So you can refer from there. Rather than revising the whole chapter, if you just keep on revising the booster notes, that's what you all have given me the feedback for salary and house property. Anytime, 15-20 minutes, the whole gist will be clear, and one day before exam. And these are my booster notes. I have prepared it in my way of understanding, which I'm sharing with all of you in the coming 1 hour. If you have any add-ons, please let me know. Use the chat box, unmute and speak up. No problem. Now, there are 5 heads of income. The third head is income from business and profession. Now, when we are saying income from business or profession, every head has chargeability section. Knock, knock, enter. Like you have a property, there's an owner and tenant relationship, enter income from house property. Are you doing a business or a profession? If you are having income or losses, maybe, but you're doing business or profession, come into this head called as income from business profession, chargeability section 28. When you're doing business, you all know what it is: retail, wholesale, manufacturing, company, firm, LLP, anything. When you are doing a profession, like you're having a professional income, is either you are having an extraordinary skill or a professional degree like doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, cost accountants. They will be filing their return under this head when they earn income from business. So now, how to compute this business income? Let us say some theory is there in the beginning. So we'll just scroll it and then we can move ahead. See, chargeability section says all this is taxable under that business and profession. If you receive compensation, license, if you're selling, sometimes you go to a doctor, he does your treatment and he's not accepting cash. So instead of paying him fees in cash, you give him a mobile phone from your store worth 32,000. So is that a perquisite or benefit received by doctor in kind? Yes. So fees received in cash on kind is income and very well taxable here. Now, when you are doing it for partnership firm, this I'll take in a separate video also. But if it is a partnership firm and if you are taking interest, salary, bonus, remuneration you are getting from the firm as a partner. First of all, dear students, partner getting share of income from the partnership firm is exempt. Why? Because partnership firm is already paying tax on that, right? Now, partner getting salary, interest on capital, remuneration, is it taxable in the hands of the partner? Yes. Under which head? Business head. Don't take it as income from salary, because between the partnership firm and partner, there is no owner-tenant relationship. Clear? Right. there's a part over here which I will explain in the next concept. ये अलग से करेंगे when I explain the assessment of a partnership firm. Speculative business where you don't take the delivery of the goods, that you have to keep separate, and your normal business separate. Why? Because speculative loss can be carried forward for 4 years, normal loss 8 years, and some other rules. But ultimately, it's a business. No, speculative businesses where delivery of the item is not there. You book something and you just enjoy the differences. So that all is given in our material, what is speculative business. I hope we are doing it as a revision. You all have watched regular lectures and it will be very helpful to you. Non-competent fees. I am paying you fees that within 5 kilometers of the radius of concept classes, don't open your academy. It's not bribe, it's legally I am paying you fees. Non-competent fees means I'm stopping you from doing a business activity. Is it your business income? Answer is yes. Very well taxable here. And 35D will check. So in short, income from business and profession is taxable here. What is business? What is profession? Speculative transaction that we have seen. Now, very important is in all the 5 heads, section 145 says business head and income from other sources. Either you compute on the cash basis or on mercantile system. You cannot follow hybrid system. I want all of you to write on this page MCQs. Superb MCQs are asked from this. For business head, I want to repeat, and for income from other sources, you can either follow mercantile system of accounting or accrual system of accounting. Okay? You cannot follow hybrid. Who is saying this? Section 145. Now, as we have accounting standards in income tax, we have ICDS in taxation. At interlevel, you just have introduction, and in final, you have these ICDS in detail. Accounting standards are applicable for standards which you use for your books of accounts. ICDS are applicable. What is the full form of ICDS? Yes, Income Computation Disclosure Standards. There are 10 ICDS which government says use it while you compute your business income and your other source if following conditions are satisfied. Now on conditions, MCQs are made and they are like super scoring. This ICDS are required to be followed by all the SSEs, individual and HUF, who's not required to get his accounts audited. Other than means individual and HUF, if your turnover exceeds 1 crore, if you're getting your books of accounts audited, do follow this. Okay? Right. Just 1 second, and 2-3 missed calls are there. I'm not used to taking class at this time, dear students. You can read 2 seconds. Done. All right. Thank you for waiting. Chalo. So what did I tell you? Who should follow ICDS? All the SSEs, companies, LLP, partnership firm, all. Individual and HUF only if their books of accounts are audited. Who follows the mercantile system? If you are following mercantile system, you have to follow ICDS. Ma'am, if I follow cash system, ICDS are not applicable. Okay? To compute which income? Business income and other sources. So they will frame the question like this. ICDS is applicable to LLP, partnership firm, company, or all. Which option is correct? All. Individual and HUF, it is applicable only if books of accounts are audited. And one thing is very important, dear students. ICDS are standards which are applicable for computing the income. They have got nothing to do with your books of accounts. Books of accounts के लिए क्या है? Accounting standards. Audit के लिए क्या है? essays, standards on auditing. Just to compute your income, you have to use the income from business and profession and other sources. Just to compute income, use ICDS. But ma'am, sometimes ICDS is saying different treatment. Income Tax Act is different treatment. Who will prevail? You are smart enough, 18 plus, dear student, but you will take a decision or your father. So ICDS के ऊपर क्या है? Act. In case of conflict, Income Tax Act will prevail and not ICDS. How is the speed of the class? All of you are attending live, then if you can respond in the chat box. Is my speed fine? You all are following, because this is a marathon revision class wherein I'm not going to read word to word, not a regular class. You all have finished that. So just in a gist, I'm revising, and if I start reading, it's a very boring way of teaching, reading. I'm just underlining the clue words and I'm giving the gist. So can you respond in chat if this ICDS concept is clear or not? Once I finish the explanation, and if you feel I have gone little fast, then please pause me. Say, ma'am, 2 minutes. So abhi ICDS padha liya, so 2 minutes, either you can underline the clue words or you can just revise on your own. No problem. उतना भी fast नहीं जाना है हमको. All right. Clear? Okay, once again, I'm giving you the gist of the ICDS. Listen to the screen. ICDS are standards which are applicable to compute your income. They are applicable to all the SSEs, individuals and HUFs only if books of accounts are audited. ICDS is applicable if you follow mercantile system, only for two heads of income, that is the business and profession and your other source. And ICDS and Income Tax Act, if there is a conflict, what will prevail? Income Tax Act will prevail. So this is all a gist you have to remember. Final students, they have applicability of ICDS, which will be done separately. Okay? All right. Going to the next part now. How to compute the business income. Dear students, literally, I appreciate all of you. When I say compute house property, you know, everyone in the class, live batch right now, all the 44 students, ऐसे pen उठा के लिख देते हैं. GAV, less municipal taxes, NAV. So it's not buttifying, you have followed. Why GAV? Why municipal tax we are deducting? So there's a format on how to compute the income. No? How do you compute the salary income? Gross salary, then standard deduction, net salary. How do you compute capital gain? Start with sale consideration, expenses. Like that, every head is having a format. Format of business head is start with the net profit as per books of accounts. Add few things and say what is that few things. Deduct few things, and what you get answer, that is the income from business and profession, and you have to pay tax on that. Is that clear to all of you? Now, I'm going to, one more thing I want to say. This is a playlist of revision and marathon videos. There's a separate playlist in YouTube for taxation concepts. Just on add and less, when I should do add, man, when I should do less, and when I should do nothing, I have made 10-12 minutes separate video. Only for bed debts, I have made a separate video. So like this, picking up the concepts where students are confused, taxation concept playlist, if you check, more than 38 videos are there right now, and you can check in whatever video you want to do. Right now, I'm using my booster notes and I'm referring for all of you. Yeah, how to check this add and less. I hope the screen is clear. Yeah, look at the screen. ये देखो, ये just take example है. Look at the screen. My GP is 50 rupees. My net profit is 20 and my expenses is 30. This is a PDF, so not able to work with a marker, but I hope it's clear. 50 is GP, 20 is my net profit, and 30 is my expenses. Now I say, dear students, in 30 expenses, 5 rupees fees, school fees paid for son debited, personal expense. 8 rupees car purchased for housewife debited. So can I debit my personal expenses or capital expense in 30 rupees? Answer is no. Who said that? Business entity concept in accounts. Ma'am, in this 30 rupees, if expenses include 5 rupees personal, scratch it. So if I reduce the expense, no, now my business expense is not 30. Look at the example. 5 rupees is personal expense, so it is 25, right? So this 5 rupees, if I disallow the expense, disallow means expenses which is debited but not allowed. What is the impact on profit? Profit is increasing. So we should do add. This format is printed in your material also. Net profit as per books. Okay, this is the problem solved. 1 second. No? Yeah, here. Net profit start with the P&L account. Add all the expenses which are debited but disallowed. Personal expense not allowed. Capital expense not allowed. Donations not allowed. Penalty under income tax. एक तो गलती करो, penalty pay करो, and you want to debit penalty in P&L account. Should it be allowed? Answer is no. So expenses debited to the P&L account not allowed. Clear? Now, add income not credited to P&L account but related to business, like discount received. Here it is. I have data creditors. Okay? I had to pay you 10 rupees, dear students. 15 more I purchased. I have to pay you 25. I paid you 24. 1 rupee khada hai. Am I going to pay you 1 rupee? No. Creditors account debit to discount received karke khatam karo. Is this discount received my business income? Yes. Did I take it in this net profit? No. Now if I take it, what will happen to my this thing? Now if I take it, what will happen to my profit? The profit will increase. Yeah. So add it then. Are you all with me and very clear? I'm in the second bit now. This is all problem solved quite in detail, but आप सिर्फ ये format याद रखो, it will be clear to you. And this is there in a 10-minute separate video also. Expenses debited to P&L account and disallowed, add, because the profit is increasing. Now, if income is related to business, like discount receipt, but you didn't take it, ma'am, now I want to take. If you take discount received on the credit side, what is the impact on the profit? Add. So क्या करोगे आप? Add. Followed it all of you. Coming to the third example. Suppose in the P&L account credit side, you have written rent received 2 rupees, dividend received. Rent received you have written in the P&L account. But where is it taxable? Second head. Dividend received you have written, but where is it taxable? Income from other sources, right? So, can I remove this? In my net profit 20, 2 and 7 rupees is also there, but scratch it. Can we scratch it? Dear students, if scratching allowed rehta na, so you would have not studied in rectification chapter in accounts. So can I say rent received and dividend received is income of other heads, remove it. That's what I have written in the third format. Expenses related to business, income credited to P&L, not related to business, nikal do, less. In your net profit, rent received is there, lottery is there, dividend received is there. They are all taxable elsewhere. So just remove it. Less. Now, expenses related to business not debited, now charge it. Like we all know, depreciation as per books is different. एक दिन का depreciation आप charge करते हैं. Ma'am, I sold the asset on 1st July. April, May, June I will charge. In income tax, you charge the depreciation block-wise, right? So in that case, can I add back the depreciation as per books as disallowed? Yes. And can I deduct the depreciation as per income tax? Yes. So if you remember these 4 items, you can pause the video, you can take a screenshot, or you can write it down. Those who have attended regular classes, they all have this in boosters. Booster notes में ये सब आपको मिल जाएगा. Net profit as per book से start करना है. Add all the expenses which are debited but they are not allowed, disallowed, निकाल दो. Add income not credited but it is business income, discount received. Add it. deduct expenses related to business, you didn't debit it. Scientific research or depreciation as per income tax or VRS, you paid VRS, but you didn't debit it. So now debit it 1/5. Less income credited to P&L account, but not related to business. I've taken my best because I can't say how much energy it is needed, dear students, to take these revision lectures. Regular class I can आराम से थोड़ा मैं हवा खा सकती हूँ, धूप खा सकती हूँ, आप लोग स्क्रीन से लिख लो, but here continuously I have to speak. So any doubts you have, chat box is open, those who all are attending live, and too much of doubt you cannot put in chat, irrespective that recording is going on, unmute and speak up, absolutely no problem. This is like super important. And we all are Hyderabadis. We eat biryani. In biryani, we put elaichi, cloves, bay leaves. Why do we put it? For the flavor. But do we eat it? No. We put it aside in the plate. So please remember, when they give you P&L account and adjustments, there would be some adjustments. Neither you have to do add nor you have to do less. Nothing you have to do. Followed or not. I'm saying in a joking way, but I hope it is clear. Because you know what is students' mindset? Ma'am, this adjustment, what should I do? I'll tell you one thing. On ongoing Dussehra, we are distributing 1,000 diaries to all our customers. We have huge customers, and 1,000 diaries we are distributing with all our brand, name, logo, and features and all. And we are distributing to all our customers. So 1,000 diaries multiplied by 10 rupees, just small diaries. 10,000 rupees is advertisement expense. All the stories given in problem ke niche adjustment mein, and advertisement is debited in the P&L account 10,000. Now what should I do? I'm seeing in the chat box. Add or less. Advertisement expense include 10,000 rupees diaries distributed to our customers on Dussehra. Is it allowed or not allowed? Allowed? Yes. Yes. Can I give? And is it debited already in the P&L account? Then in exam, if they give you these kind of adjustments, ma'am, it's allowed. It's already debited in the P&L account. What do you need to do? Nothing. Neither add nor less. Is this clear to all of you? Right? Okay. So, this is one important aspect of why you should do add and less. Coming back to our material now from the booster notes, let us read the gist which I have given, and you can add on more to this. In net profit, add capital expense because they are capitalized. Acha, by mistake, capital expense like buildings extension, if you have put in P&L, and when you capitalize, can I then deduct depreciation? You have made 80,000 building. By mistake, you have put in P&L account. So you added back the building. Building ko na apne add back kar diya in the P&L account. Expenses disallowed. Disallowed, disallowed, disallowed. So add back. So when you add back building, shall you allow depreciation? Answer is yes. Personal expense not allowed. Donations not allowed. Income tax is not allowed as expense. GST, custom duty is allowed as expense, and GST and custom duty refund is a business income. But income tax is not allowed as expense. Now, expenses disallowed under section 40, TDS related. Yes, sir, detail also we are going to do, but just when I have this table, I want to take it. What is inadmissibles under sections 40, dear students? Any payment if I make outside India, interest, salary, fees for technical, then I have to deduct TDS, no? Non-resident has to pay tax. If income is generated from, you are paying interest to NRI, salary to NRI, royalty to NRI. Are you generating income for NRI? Answer is yes. If you pay 10,000, should you deduct TDS and pay to government? Yes. Sorry, I missed and I paid full amount. That full expense is disallowed now. When you deduct TDS and pay to government, that time it will be allowed. Abhi to disallowed. In India, if you make payment of interest and all to your payees, wherever applicable TDS, and you miss deducting TDS, then how much is disallowed? 30%. In India, 30%. Out of India, 100%. Expenses disallowed, unreasonable payment. Can you pay salary commission to your relative? If it is a father's firm, can he pay salary to his son? Yes. Commission to his brother? Yes. Remuneration to wife? Yes. Provided they are working. But it should be reasonable. Ma'am, what is the definition of reasonable? Nothing. AO will decide. If you have paid salary 10,000 per month, AO will say, no, 8,000 is only allowed. 2,000 salary is not allowed. Disallowed means add back. You have debited P&L account mein salary 10,000 paid to your brother, but government is saying reasonable is 8,000. Why did you pay 2,000 extra? Add back. Payment of expenses. In cash, you cannot make expenses in a single day to a single person above 10,000. For transporter, you can pay 35,000. अभी आना ये बताते थे, ma'am, by mistake I purchased stationery of 12,000 in cash. So ma'am, will up to 10,000 to allow करो ना, गलती हो गई. Nothing is allowed. I'm literally saying these are jokes and stories so that you remember that if you make payment of expenses above 10,000 in cash, whole expense is disallowed. No emotional deduction of 10,000. First thing. Second, ma'am, I came in the morning and I took 5,000. Then I came in the evening and I took 7,000. 5 and 7 are below limit. But in a single day, how much you have taken the payment, dear students? 12,000. Is this allowed? तब दीप्ति मैम नहीं पढ़ाते ना, थोड़ा chat box activate करो. All of you are attending live can answer. What did I say? 5,000 I paid you in the morning. 7,000 I paid you. Okay. In the evening. Both are below the limit. Is it allowed? Not allowed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the amazing response. Hope my speed is fine and you all are following. Your response is good. So in a day also, single payment or 2-3 payments put together to single person should not exceed 10,000. Ma'am, can I pay 8,000 to 10 of my creditors? आज ना बस मन कर गया कि सबको पेमेंट कर दो. So I paid all my different creditors, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Everyone I have paid 8,000. But these are different creditors. Can I pay? Yes. Is it allowed? Yes. Why? Because to each person, how much I am paying? 8,000. The total in a day I am paying more than 10,000. These examples we have worked out in regular class 2-3 problems. Next is amount transfer to reserve and even provisions are not allowed. What is transfer to reserve? You know, look here. It's like taking the money from this pocket. Acha, profit is 50. Transfer 5 rupees to this reserve. 8 rupees to that reserve. Taking out money from one pocket and putting it in other pockets. Is it your expense actually, dear students? Answer is no. So it is not allowed. Transfer to reserves, investment allowance, dividend equalization, special, blah, blah, not allowed. Provisions are not allowed because provisions are not actual expense. They're just bookish entry. So provision for taxation, provision for doubtful debts, not allowed. When I say not allowed and if that expenses are debited, what do you need to do? Add back. Now, depreciation as per books add back because we are going to charge it in a different way. Other expenses to be allowed is clear. Or hai kuch other expenses disallowed like CSR and all, I will tell you. Expenses of income which is taxable under other head. Superb. Municipal tax is allowed as expense? Yes. Where? House property. But by mistake, I paid check from my business checkbook. और मेरे accountant ने लिख दिया municipal tax debit to bank and municipal tax is put in my P&L account. Ma'am, this municipal tax is deducted in second head. Can I deduct it here also? Answer is no. So any expenses related to income which is related to other heads of income, add back. Add back. Clear? Patent and copyrights in excess of, patent and copyrights are intangibles. So you can't put it in P&L account. Capitalize in the books and charge 25% depreciation. Patent, copyrights, lump sum for technical know-how. Preliminary expense in excess of limits. Section 35D. Preliminary expense, how much are allowed? 5% of the cost of the project or 5% of capital employed, whichever is higher. And allowed is also allowed 1/5 every year. So remaining 4/5 is disallowed. Add back. Income tax is not allowed. Employers contribution in excess of 10%. यहाँ पे लिख दो ना pension fund. Pension fund. 10% of salary. What is the definition of salary? Salary plus DA. Salary plus DA का 25% you have put in the pension plan. You are really happy with this employee ना, इतना अच्छा काम करता है. So he said your salary is 100. I'll put 25 rupees in your pension plan. How much is allowed? Only 10 rupees. ठीक है? Right. Fines and penalties are never allowed as expense, dear students. Next. Amount to be treated as income, though not credited. You can write the example of discount received and take it. Now, amount credited in P&L account, but included in other heads. So, nikal do. Dividend income, rental income, sub remove it. Bad debt recover, I will explain this when I come to bad debt. Income tax refund is not a business income because income tax is not allowed as expense. Income tax refund is not a business income. So, galti se if income tax refund is credited in the P&L account, credit side, 2 rupees, kya karo? Nikal do. Capital gain, remove. Gifts, remove. GST custom duty refund, earlier not allowed. GST and custom duty, you have debited in books. Earlier only they have not allowed, means disallowed. So in the year 2018, when GST you have debited and disallowed, that time only it is taxable. Now when you receive the refund, is it taxable again? फिर से एक बार. GST, custom duty. When debited in the P&L account, government said no, not allowed. That time only disallowed. So that time only you have paid the tax. Now if it is recovered, is it your business income? No. So remove it. Interest on IT refund is taxable under income from other sources. Depreciation as per income tax and other expenses you have not debited, but which are allowable. Up deduct kar lo, up debit kar lo. So now if you debit, it will be less. Oh, I think I'm taking very long time. Half an hour is over and we have just completed the add less concept. Distribution कैसे करना चाहिए बताना. Ask doubts now if you have any doubt. Anyone is having any doubt? All right. So now we know the gist of this chapter, add and less. Now what we are doing is admissible expenses. Okay. Please revise this lecture 2-3 times. बार सुनोगे ना तो you will get a grip on and your pen will flow. You will get a superb speed before the exam. Now I am starting with section 30 to section 37. It is the list of all the expenses which are allowed. And section 40 and subsections is all the expenses which are disallowed. So if they are allowed, debit it in the P&L account. Like if you have a building, then building related expenses like repair, property tax, insurance. If you are using building related to business, and if you are the owner, repair, property tax, insurance are allowed. If you are a tenant, then rent of the building is allowed. Plant and machinery say related. All expenses are allowed. Yes. Now, depreciation. Very important. In income tax, we charge depreciation with certain rules and regulations as per block of asset method. What is the condition? Assessee must be owner of the asset. If you are owner of the asset, charge the depreciation as per the rates given in Income Tax Act. Assessee must use the asset for business. You purchase 3 ACs for your home and bill you have put in the firm, and you are charging depreciation on that ACs. Is it right? No. The AC put up at home is a personal effect and it's not taxable. So very important is you should use the asset for business. Put to use is important, not the day when you acquire. You purchased the asset on 30th June and kept it. But then after the Dussehra, you have decided to officially launch it and use it. So when you will start charging the depreciation the day it is put to use. Okay. Now put to use mein, this 7th point is important. It has got a link here. There are certain equipments, no, like fire extinguishers. You go to the mall and in mall fire extinguishers are there. है ना? Fire extinguishers होते हैं ना, जो use नहीं होते हैं, कभी भी नहीं होने भी चाहिए. So can we say why we should charge ma'am depreciation when it is not used? But it was ready to put, no? So standby equipment, fire extinguishers, spare parts which may not be used. But if they are ready to put to use, you have to charge depreciation. Okay? Now, next point is, if the asset is used for less than 180 days, 50% of the depreciation. Matlab, till 4th of October, your financial year is say 21 and 22. So 1st April say 4th of October 21 tak if you have purchased the asset, you are using it for more than 180 days, charge full year's depreciation. Ma'am, if I purchase the asset on December 21, then you are using it only for 3 months, approximate 90 days. 50% of the rate of depreciation you have to charge. So income tax mein block of asset method is actually very easy, dear students. It's not saying cut to cut charge depreciation as you have studied in accounts, machine 1, machine 2 and all. Okay. Only method of depreciation that is recognized under income tax is WDV method. Okay. So in income tax, which method you will charge the depreciation? WDV. Straight line is only for the power sector. That too they have to decide and say initially only. Now, right from the beginning I said, dear students, you should be the owner of the asset. In hire purchase, if I sell you the goods on hire purchase, I am the legal owner till you pay the last installment. Still from day one you can charge depreciation. Who is the owner in hire purchase? Seller. But substance over form, legally you are owner. The day you purchase machinery, you started using it in factory and you are paying the hire purchase EMIs over the period. So day one, you should start charging the depreciation. If asset is owned for part of the year, amalgamation, demerger, proportionate depreciation will be charged. I had company A & Co. On 30th of June, A & Co. merged into B & Co. So A & Co. will charge depreciation on all the assets for how many months? 3 months. April, May, June. July onwards, B & Co. No depreciation allowed on land, but depreciation is allowed on the building. Check these points and if you have a doubt, ask me please. Yeah, many of the booster notes I have added to the regular material, so I'm not sharing booster notes here. You all have attended regular classes, so have you written or not booster notes? And are they helpful? Sure. Any doubt? Rules for charging depreciation? No. Depreciation is not charged asset-wise. Asset-wise, you will not charge depreciation. You will charge the depreciation block-wise. In a block, there will be all the assets, you know, like 4-5 पेपर को लेके रंबल करके एक बॉल बना दो, सब assets मिले हुए हैं. No plant and machinery 1, 2, 3, 4. They are not having individual identity. Four block of assets are there. One is building, plant and machinery, furniture, and intangibles. Only four types of the asset block are there, and depreciation. Man, when asset is sold, फिर उसका individual cost कैसे पता चलेगा? So individual cost we don't want. Part of the block sold, one of the asset, three machinery are there. One machinery sold, you are not calculating the profit or loss. Clear? Right. So tangible asset, building, plant and machinery. How many blocks are there? Sorry, building. Shall I write land? Answer is no. On land, never depreciation is charged. So building, plant and machinery, number 2, building number 1, furniture number 3, and intangible assets number 8. Now, how do you get the actual cost of purchase in the first year? So cost price, in the cost price, deduct government grant or subsidy if you have got any. Suppose I have put 20 crore plant and machinery in the backward area. Government gave me 15 crore. So deduct kar do. How much is your out of pocket cost? 5 crore. So you will be getting depreciation on 5 crore. Trial run se agar kuch income ho rahi hai, deduct it. Add interest on loan borrowed for acquiring the asset till the date of commencement of the production. You know, while the asset is getting ready, it may take 1 or 2 years. It's called capital work in progress. तो asset को बनने में बहुत time लग गया. So by the time asset is getting ready, if you have taken loan someone to make a plant and machinery, and making that plant and machinery will take 2.5 years. So 2.5 years interest you can add it. This is what we do in AS, Accounting Standard 16, borrowing cost. Till the asset is ready to put to use. Once it is put commercial use के लिए asset, then still if you are paying interest on loan borrowed for plant and machinery, you can debit in your routine P&L account. Expenses incurred for acquiring the asset like freight, loading, technical fees, all that. GST you have to add to actual cost of asset only if input tax credit not availed. If you have taken ITC, you cannot add that GST part to the cost of the plant and machinery. 1 lakh is the cost of machinery. GST is say 5,000. 1 lakh 5,000. If you have taken input tax credit of the GST, don't add it to the cost and don't depreciate. Double benefit you cannot take. So I hope this is clear. समझ में आया actual cost कैसे लेना है? Yeah, just some theory. See the format now. You all have solved this as a workbook. Opening WDV, add purchase. Dear students, I am giving you many pitfalls because we are not allowed to correct final papers, but I have corrected so many mock test papers. So I am always saying, when you write purchases in the exam, no, dear students, write date over here. यहाँ पे ना date लिखो purchase के पास. इससे क्या होगा? You will remember that if the purchase is in December, how much depreciation you have to take? 50%. Otherwise, full. So opening WDV, purchase, total sale value, and depreciation on the balance. No depreciation in the year of sale. Ma'am, but I have sold it on 25th of March 22. पूरा साल मैंने asset use किया. No. In the year of sale, there is no depreciation. And whatever is the value after the sale, on that charge the depreciation and you get the closing WDV. No depreciation in the year. No depreciation is charged in the year when asset is sold. Don't say, ma'am, charge depreciation till the date of sale and all. In case if WDV of the block is nil, but asset is existing, then no depreciation is charged, but block will continue with nil value. This is proved in example below. तो कभी-कभी क्या हो जाता है, ये है नीचे ही मैं बताती हूँ. And if the whole block of asset is sold and if there's a profit, it is called short-term capital gain. Loss, it is called, ma'am, why not long-term? Because all the assets are crumpled and together. We don't know what is the cost, say age of each asset. No, in the block, 2-3 machineries are there, 4 laptops are there, 5 books are there, just have depreciation curve. So you are always going to calculate capital gain as short-term capital gain. Right, this we have done. Check and tell me if it is already solved in your notebook. I would skip them because it is taking time. If I have the solution, I can share. You can check it on the screen. What is this I am telling you? A machinery is there, B added, A and B are 120, A, B both sold. What is balance? Nil. Depreciation nil, closing WDV nil. A, B both sold for 60. So 60 is short-term capital gain. A, B both were 120, but they were sold for 60. Sorry, loss. Yeah, clear to all of you? So like this, all these examples we have already solved. Suppose ये रेगुलर क्लास में तो बड़े आराम से हमने लिख के किया, अब जल्दी से करना है तो कर लेते हैं 2 मिनट में. A, B asset is there 100, C added 20, ABC is 120. A alone is sold. Part of the block is sold. Still B and C are there for 60. Charge depreciation 10%, 6 and 54. मैम पार्ट ऑफ द असेट इज सोल्ड, उसका प्रॉफिट लॉस नहीं कैलकुलेट करें. इफ दे गिव यू ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट ऑफ एज जस्ट टू कंफ्यूज यू, इग्नोर. Don't calculate profit or loss when just part of the asset is sold. Still BC are there, no? So go then to the next one. A, B are 100, C is 20, A, B, C 120. A alone is sold for 160. If A alone is sold for 160, is there a profit of 40? क्या शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन है 40 का? सोल्ड फॉर 160. या व्हाट इज द ब्लॉक वैल्यू? नील. नील पे डेप्रिसिएशन नील, नील. बट विल द ब्लॉक कंटिन्यू? आंसर इज यस, ब्लॉक विल कंटिन्यू विद नील वैल्यू क्योंकि बीसी है ना, ये आ गया. Can pause and then check it आराम से. BC is still there, nil. D added. I hope you are getting. Why am I continuing the block in the second year? Case 3, second year. Why? Because BC block is still there. B and C assets are still there, but the value is nil. Then D added. BCD nil. Up now, what is the balance? 50. What is 5? 45. Again, take this 45. And now in 45, they have added E90, 135. Everything is sold for 150. So there is short-term capital gain. Check this and we will take a quick break of just 5 minutes and then we will continue the next. Okay, so once you understand how to charge the depreciation, then rates of depreciation, you all know we have the rates and all. So I'm not reading out the rates now. For building and all 5%, plant and machinery 15%. Highest rate of depreciation on computer software, books and all is 40%. Here most important changes on goodwill, depreciation is not charged from 1st April 2020. So if you have a block of intangible assets, and if you purchase more intangible asset, okay, balance it. If you have sold intangible asset, nikal do. On 31st March 20, till 20, so you are allowed from 2021, goodwill is not depreciated now. Goodwill is brand value. So, I'm just teaching you the concepts and the gist. If I start discussing why they brought these provisions, it will become a regular class or बहुत lengthy जाएगा. So I hope you have seen all the videos. Goodwill, 31st March. So if you purchase the goodwill, you know, like suppose if you have purchased the goodwill on 1/4/18. So 18, 19, 19, 20, calculate the depreciation separately. And whatever is the WDV of the goodwill as on 31st March, remove it. And on remaining block, charge 25% depreciation. This is the amendment for goodwill. Clear to all of you? Right. Okay. Ma'am, but wo block ka kya kare? Suppose you have purchased the goodwill and 1/4/2020 ko goodwill which you have removed from the main block, uski value at 27. Keep it as it is. When you sell it in 30, it's like capital gain, short-term capital gain or loss you can take. Okay. Unabsorbed depreciation can be carried forward for an indefinite period. And if there is
Excuse me.
amalgamation and all, then you have to tax depreciation.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, please ask.
With regard to the depreciation, do we need to remember the percentages, or the examiner will give in the question paper, ma'am?
No, you have to remember at least. This is like in the regular class taught also how to remember that.
Okay, yeah.
Building is 5 and related to commercial 10. Important ones I can circle and show you.
Yeah.
Building normally it is 10%, furniture 10%, plant and machinery everywhere it is 15, except if plant and machinery is used for transporter and all, I mean say hiring and leasing, then it is double. क्योंकि हमारी कार कम यूज होती है, कैब की ज्यादा. Rest all on energy and pollution and all 40%. That's it. So like this gist, and intangibles is 25%. Okay? Right. If you solve these all, almost more than 10 problems are there, it will be clear. Going to the next concept in depreciation is additional depreciation. Already normal depreciation is allowed. But if yours is a manufacturing concern, anything, proprietorship, partnership, anything, if it is a manufacturing concern, then in the first year, when you purchase a new plant and machinery, enhanced or additional depreciation is allowed at the rate of 20% only for plant and machinery which is used in factory. Now, dear students, you should know plant and machinery, ये जो list है ना, इसमें clearly दिया है. Plant and machinery includes your vehicles, your electronics, all, but they should be used in the factory. Suppose you are buying a refrigerator and using it in the factory for research. Can you claim additional depreciation? Yes. And now if you buy a refrigerator and you keep it in the guest house, which directors come and stay, will you allow additional depreciation? Answer is no. 1 second. Sorry, I'll keep the screen open so that it is clear. So additional depreciation is allowed only to manufacturing concerns. Extra over and above the normal depreciation, ships and aircrafts ko allowed nahi hai, any manufacturing unit. And if this asset is used for less than 180 days, then additional depreciation ko bhi half kar dena. Instead of 20%, take it as 10%. Okay? Right. And it should be a new plant and machinery. It should not be second hand, otherwise it's not allowed. Suppose I have purchased the asset on 31st December 21 for 100 rupees. How much additional depreciation is allowed? Only 10%. Why? Because asset is used for less than 180 days. Can I allow remaining 10% in the next year? Answer is yes. So balance 50% of the additional depreciation is allowed in the next year if it is used for less than 180 days. Clear? Right. This is all about additional depreciation. Power sectors are allowed to go for SLM in a limited case, but they have to decide. Tea, coffee, rubber development, you can just put the money. This is CMA se to nikal diya, but any CMA students listening to this revision video, tea, coffee, rubber development, if you are doing the business, if you know these kind of businesses are partly agriculture, partly non. We have seen that in the basic chapter. So up to 40% of profit you can keep with NABARD and claim the deduction. Put the money in NABARD bank. Is bar profit 100 hai, 40 alag rakho. I will use it to buy tractors or any activity related to tea, coffee, rubber development. If you remove the money from NABARD and you invest in share market, in that year it will be taxable as business income. Site restoration fund. This is mining related activity. You can keep 20% of your profit 20% of your profit separate with any of the branches of SBI. This is all in agreement with government. Very simple, so you can read. Scientific research, I want to explain in my way orally. Listen, scientific research is like super important for MCQs. 3 marks separate problem. Already we have worked out more than 4 problems in our one concept, one problem. Scientific research, preliminary concept problem, license concept problem, depreciation concept problem, additional. ये जब complete हो जाएगा ना, then you are ready to go for the total problem. Now listen all of you dear students. Scientific research and development is ongoing activity for any business. It's not ma'am scientist से हमारा क्या लेना देना. Every company, every firm is having an R&D department. They keep on doing research, new product, new strategies, new brand, new services, something innovative. Yes or no? So now, any expenses related to scientific research, revenue expense, fully allowed. Capital expenditure related to scientific research, fully allowed. But don't claim depreciation again. You have purchased 2 laptops for 1 lakh rupees for scientific research. Put 1 lakh rupees in P&L account. Capital expenditure for scientific research, fully allowed. Don't again claim depreciation on that. Revenue expense allowed. Capital expense allowed. Ma'am, building kharide to allowed. Only land is not allowed, and you can't invest in shares and goodwill and securities. Got it? In the name of scientific research. Now, ma'am, but we launched our product in 2022, but we have started the research in 2019. So is the backdated research expense allowed before you start? See, research goes on for years and then you become successful and you launch your brand. So when you start your business, before that 3 years, if you have incurred research expense, it's allowed. Material cost is allowed, labor, revenue, capital is allowed, related to research in the last 3 years. Now, I'm not doing any research expense related to my business, but I am interested in donating to DRDO. Hyderabad mein na DRDO hai. It's like they do scientific research. So I want to encourage them. I want to donate to a company who is doing scientific research. Allowed. National laboratories. I want to donate to a college who is doing scientific research and affiliated to any of the national level universities and all. Allowed. Can I give donations to national laboratory, IITs and all? Not for scientific research, but for statistical research allowed. So this is all. Just सिर्फ क्या allowed नहीं है? Land cost. कैसे याद रहेगा? Notes में सब लिखा है. ये देखो. All the expenses, revenue are allowed, capital are allowed. In the past 3 years, all the expenses are allowed. Other than land, material, salary, other than perquisites are allowed. So past 3 years, all the expenditure is allowed. 100% if you give to specified business companies outside national laboratory or allowed. Maximum kitna allowed hai dear students? 100%. Anyone has studied earlier, ma'am, pehle to 125, 150, 200% weighted milta tha, nahi milta na. See, these are the problems we have solved and they are repeatedly coming. Maximum problems which are very technical, you feel, from ICS study material also have picked up, added some more adjustments to that also and made it. So make sure you all do these problems thoroughly. ठीक है. ये 35 AC और ये कुछ important यहाँ पढ़ लेना. Directly to preliminary expense. You know what is preliminary expense? When the company is born, before that SIN number, DIN number, memorandum, article, वो articles of association, prospectus, कितने काम होते हैं? So if you incur these expense, they are allowed up to 5% of the project or 5% of the capital employed, whichever is beneficial, means whichever is higher. Ma'am, ये figure देंगे exam में? Yes, they will give 5% of the cost of the project for which you are incurring preliminary expense, or 5% of the capital employed. So what is preliminary expense? Yeah, explain here. So this is allowed, dear students. This is allowed 1/5 every year. Qualifying amount is allowed over 5 years, means whatever is allowed. Suppose your capital employed is 50 lakhs. 50 lakh का 5%. कितना आएगा? 250. So how much preliminary expenses are, ma'am, but actual expenses 11 lakh. No. How much will be allowed maximum? 50 lakhs capital employed का 5%, 250. 250 is also allowed 1/5 every year, 50,000 for continuous 5 years. Done? Okay. Audit and all is necessary, and I think if you solve this John Limited problem revise करोगे तो आ जाएगा. 35 areas specified businesses, 2-star and above hotel, warehouses, and multi-speciality hospitals, and a big list. What is specialization of 35 AD? These are the businesses: warehousing, sugar, and production of fertilizers in India and all. Government wants to encourage. So all the capital expense, all the revenue expense are fully allowed. Capital expense, revenue expense are fully allowed under section 35D. Ma'am, if we allow capital expense, definitely it's going to show up loss. Initial years, वैसे ही business income कम है, and if you allow capital and revenue, it's going to show loss. Can we carry forward this loss? Yes. For how many years? Indefinite period, but to be set off only in specified business. All this is given in your material. 100% capital, revenue, expense, all are allowed, but you can't allow the cost of land, goodwill, and all. Should be a new plant and machinery, and 8 years you should use the asset. If you sell it within 8 years, it will be treated as business income. Okay. And due to this point is important. Due to 35D, if there is any loss, it can be carried forward for indefinite period to be set off only in specified business. Are the last 2-3 sections clear? Just I am giving you, rest you can read. Agricultural extension project, you know, आजकल कितना सारा growing हो रहा है, dragon fruit, kiwis and corn are grown like anything around us. So for all this, government is helping farmers with various projects. If your company is doing that project, 100% providing skill development. You know, you give training to people and then you give them job. So if you are working for skill development project approved by government, 100% you will get the benefit. VRS full form is voluntary retirement service. If you are retiring before the age of 60, say at 58, you will get lump sum amount 5 lakhs from the company. Company said 5 lakhs, but in 2021, company paid you 4 lakhs. So whatever they pay you, 1/5 is allowed every year. 1 lakh paid next year say 1/5 allowed रहेगा. Are you all with me? VRS is allowed when it is paid. मैंने बहुत bold में लिखा है. Whenever VRS is paid, it is allowed, and it is allowed 1/5 every year. ठीक है? Other deductions. Now, 35 तक हो गया. Other deductions, 36 is general deductions related to business which are normally allowed. You know how they frame up these MCQs, ये VRS के लिए भी. If you write, ma'am, 5 lakh का 1/5, 1 lakh, that will be an option in MCQ, but it's wrong. Why? 5 lakh is due, but how much is paid? 4 lakh. So how much is allowed? 1/5. That is 80,000. Sure. Now, other deductions में, can you pay insurance premium, health group insurance for all your employees? Yes. Is that premium allowed as expense for the company? Yes. But other than cash, if you pay in cash, that is not allowed. Bonus and commission, is it allowed as expense? Yes. Interest paid on capital borrowed. For business, if you take loan from banks, unsecured loan from friends, other business companies, sister concern, interest is allowed as expense. Even if you have not paid and it's due, it's allowed, but it should be reasonable. It's just you have taken loan from your sister concern and you are paying 36% interest, then they will disallow. AO will, assessing officer will disallow. So interest paid related to businesses allowed. Can you contribute? You know, employee related funds hote hain, provident fund, ESIC, and other funds are there, no, superannuation fund, gratuity. So can the employer put it as his expense and contribute? Like, dear students, I am paying you 100 salary and I am putting in your PF 12 rupees. Is 12 rupees my expense, dear students? Yes. Is it allowed? Yes. But boldly I have written here, approved, 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 recognized. I am not putting money in approved gratuity fund. I have made my own gratuity fund and I am putting it. It's unapproved, not allowed. Highlighted way I am repeating, whatever you contribute to approved funds, it is allowed. Okay? Right. Now related to bad debt, I want to say bad debt is related to data. So bad debt के लिए ना मैंने बड़ा अच्छा gist booster note बनाया है और फिर कुछ exercise भी है. What is bad debt? It's the money from data I'm not going to realize. Can I put it in my P&L account? Yes. So bad debt is allowed earlier. Now recovered. Is it my business income? Yes. But ma'am, now I'm not doing that business. 3 years back, I was doing chemical business. That time I had bad debt. Now I'm doing leather business. And I recovered bad debt of the chemical business. Is it allowed? Yes. Business income to rahega. Bad debt is allowed. I said to department ki dekho mere itne paise डूब गए. They allowed 10 rupees. After 3 years, I met somewhere that person, Rahul. Rahul is saying, ma'am, tab mere paas paise nahi the 10 rupees rakh lo. I said, Rahul, forget it. I've closed that business. Rahul is saying, no, ma'am, karmic account is going on. Please accept money. So I accept it. Is that 10 rupees my income? Yes. Is it fully taxable? Yes. First one. Bad debt debited, 1000. Allowed, 1000. Recovered, 1000. Taxable, 1000. Bad debt earlier disallowed. When I debited in books, department is saying it's fake. Under the table, you have received payment from data. This is not allowed. Nahi chalega. So 1000 is not allowed. Now it is recovered. Okay. 1000 is not allowed. Now it is recovered. Bad debt. When 1000 you have debited, it was not allowed. So that time earlier only it was taxable, no? Now recovered. Is it a business income? No, not taxable. Aram se karo. I have made a separate video also for this. फिर से देखो. Bad debt disallowed earlier. I told to government 1000 rupees मेरा bad debt है. Government said no, disallowed. Disallowed means scratch. They increased my income and I had to pay tax in 2018 when bad debt was disallowed. Now it is 22. I recovered that 1000. Should I pay tax again? Answer is no, not taxable. I know I'm taking too many things at a time, dear students, but within 24 hours, if you start preparing for this topic after listening to this lecture, teacher's explanation, logic, jokes will give you a push and you will prepare at a very faster pace. Right. If part bad debt allowed earlier, part recovered, then whatever recovered out of that unallowed is already taxable that time, no? Remaining will be taxable. What is unallowed? Bad debt claim minus allowed. मैं आपको example के साथ बता. I debited 1000 in my books. Department said 800 ही allow करेंगे. नहीं 1000 तो बहुत ज़्यादा है. Who said? Department. So 200 was disallowed that time. You can write here. तभी disallow हो गया तो तभी taxable हो गया ना. That time disallowed, so that time only it is taxable, no? Now, if 800 is recovered, out of 800, 200 is disallowed, that time only taxable. How much is taxable now? 600. 1000 I debited, 800 they allowed. I received 500. Out of 500, 500 is from the unallowed. तो पहले ही unallowed तो already taxable हो गया है ना 200, which is not allowed. Remaining 300 will be taxable. 1000, 800 allowed, recovered 900. But already 200 was disallowed. I have paid tax. How much will be taxable? 700. Gist of all this is bad debt earlier allowed, now business income. Earlier only disallowed, tabhi taxable, now not income. I want response from all of you. Is this clear to all of you or not? These small logics are asked in I problems. How to read the problem is also an art. I have always been saying in my regular videos कि business set problem पढ़ने में ही बहुत students का time चले जाता है. So start from the credit side, then on the debit. Credit side में जो directly remove करना है निकाल दो. Go to the debit side directly. What is disallowed? Just remove it, and then go to the adjustment. Read the problem in such a way that you don't have to read it again. That will save your time. Not clear or clear? You can put the message please in the chat box. Keep revising. If you have any doubt, anytime you can comment below the video. You can get in touch. Description mein Telegram group and mail and all the links are given. So you can always stay in touch with us and clear your doubts. Okay. Now, family planning expense is allowed only for companies, and I don't know why it's favorite. एक तो MCQ बना के डाल देते हैं. So only for companies, family planning related expense if you have done, it's allowed. If it is a capital expenditure, 1/5 is allowed. If it is a revenue expenditure, fully. 1,000 rupees revenue, 1/5 नहीं, पूरा allowed है. 2,500 capital, 1/5. 500 allowed for 5 years. Interest, see, GST is allowed. Interest on GST is allowed, but penalties are not allowed. So in the P&L account debit side, dear students, if you see penalties are never allowed as expense. GST and custom duty allowed as expense. When refunded, it's a business income. Got it, all of you? So listen, dear students, आपको ना P&L credit side देंगे. Custom duty they'll give. Custom duty refund 3,000. GST refund 8,000. Is it your business income? Yes. Is it credited in the P&L account? Yes. Do you need to do add or less? No. GST is allowed as expense when you receive refund. Income tax is not allowed as expense. Income tax refund is not allowed. I'm trying to give you best of the links and gist. And with all the booster notes which I have shared, I'll just make the PDF and circulate so that you can do the revision. Security transaction taxes you paid when you buy shares. So STT is allowed as business expenses, provided these shares you show it as your stock in trade. You know, share खरीदना बेचना आपका business है. You are doing intraday. It's your business income. Same for commodity transaction tax. It's allowed if commodities are treated as your stock in trade. Banks and all, they issue ICICI deep discount bonds. 100 rupees bonds they issue at 82. And they say after 3 years on maturity, you will get 100. So is 18 rupees discount or expenditure for the bank? Yes. For how many years? 3. So can they amortize it every year and allow? Excuse me. 6 rupees. Did you get it? You know, my examples are always 10 rupees, 2 rupees. I want you to focus on the concept. You are allowed to use calculator. Use the same calculator for practice which you use for final exam. This is a very important tip so that you have that practice on the calculator. And I hope every student listening now using M plus, M minus. Awesome. So what I'm saying is 100 rupees bond, the ICICI bank has issued a deep discount bond, 82. 18 rupees is the income, divide by 3, allowed. 6 rupees every year. ठीक है? These are all welfare और ये points पूरे repeat हो रहे हैं. उससे related problem है. Now, company related some expense are allowed like debentures, bonus issue, discount. They are allowed, but some expenses are not allowed. Like, you know, companies nowadays are incurring CSR expense, corporate social responsibility expense. So it is not allowed as expense. Why? It's like you have earned 50 crore. Oh, your company is doing huge. For a social service kar lo, 1% of your profit according to net worth and all, corporate social, do some training for the youth or hold some painting competition in the school like that. So if you spend for CSR, it is not allowed as expense. And when you pay fees to registrars and all for enhancement of the capital, whenever your capital is changing, that's related to that ROC fees and all, not allowed as expense. I think this list is very simple. You can read it. Want me to read it? ठीक है, पढ़ लेंगे, चलो. Yeah, this is asked so many times. Taxpayer would not be entitled to deduction in respect of expenses incurred by him on advertisement in any souvenir, tract, pamphlet published by political party. So political party, BJP, blah, blah, blah on one side, and next side your company's ad. Can you allow this advertisement expense? No. If you genuinely want to support a political party, donate them and claim deduction in 80G, right? Any tax of employee paid by employer is inadmissible, not allowed. Your own income tax is not allowed. You are paying income tax of your employee, not allowed. Transfer to provisions and reserves, not allowed. These are beautiful one-liner problems, allowed, disallowed, juggling. TDS, I told you. If any payment is made outside India without TDS, 100% is disallowed. If any payment made in India without TDS, 30% is disallowed. But ma'am, after 6 months, I deducted TDS paid to government. Can I claim that 30% in the next year? Yes. Income tax is not allowed. Payment to relatives unreasonable है तो not allowed. अब relatives की definition आप पढ़ सकते हैं. Payment of expense above, these all I am going little fast because in the ADLES only I covered, dear students, for all of you. So payment exceeding 10,000, above 10,000, है ना? Payment exceeding 10,000 से ज़्यादा in cash, you can pay either cross check or NIFT or RTGS or Google Pay or Paytm, all that is allowed, but not in cash. Okay, right. Yeah. License, it's a small, just, when you take telecommunication and all license, they give you license for fixed years. कि okay, Reliance Industries 5G 6G network 10 साल के लिए आपको permission है, आप पोल वोल लगाओ और करो. So I'm just explaining through these examples if they ask you in MCQ. This is not removed in the CA syllabus, but I'm taking a combined revision for CA and CMA. So license is there for CMA exam. For CA exam, T copy, rubber development, site restoration and license is not there. License नहीं है आपके लिए, पर बहुत simple है. 2 सेकेंड अगर जिसको उसको देखना है तो we can check, and then we'll go for presumptive taxation. 10 minutes more and we'll finish with this. Okay. If you feel lot of energy I have put in these videos and I want to reach these conceptual way of learning, shortcut नहीं, ये भी shortcut नहीं है, just बताया, but these concepts, these problems in detail, unless you don't learn, you will not get through your inter exam, and who can prove you get, dear students, final में अटकोगे. तो concepts जरूर से पढ़ो और logic से keep that why open, so it will be clear to all of you. I agree, in the revision video I'm not teaching you कि why this provision and why this disallowed, but अगर आप ऐसे conceptually पढ़ोगे तो आपको बहुत helpful रहेगा. Okay, when you get the license, say for 100 rupees for 10 years, every year you can amortize 10 rupees. After third year, the license is sold for 20. So 100 rupees for 3 years. So 130. So how much it is? 70. License ka value is 70. You sold it for 20. 50 rupees is business loss. After 3 years, it is sold for 80. 70 का license is sold for 80. 3 years के बाद value is 70. Sold for 80. How much is 10 rupees is what? Business income. After 3 years, license is sold for 120. Original cost was 100. Above the original cost, profit is capital gain. And 170. Total profit is 120. My license is sold, which was of 70 rupees. So 50. But in 50, 20 rupees is capital gain above 100. And 30 rupees is your business. And now, if license is 70 rupees, but suppose I have license for Punjab and Maharashtra. Punjab I am selling, part license I am selling for 25. Still I have 45 rupees license. And over how many years now? 7, 6.43. Clear? So this is all about license. Yeah. 43Bs comes in every exam, every ADLES main problem. There are few expenses which you keep outstanding in the month of March, saying, ma'am, we are following mercantile system. You only started the class saying section 145, mercantile system. So these expenses are allowed on due basis in the March. But you can't fool the department. Expenses to outstanding, kar karke reduce the profit now. बाद में देखी जाएगी, we will pay the outstanding. Government is saying, if these expenses are outstanding in March, make sure you pay it by due date of filing the return. Say your due date is 30th September of filing the return. Paid by due date, and then it will be allowed. Ma'am, March I made it due, but I paid it in December. Will that expense be allowed? No. But I paid it in December, ma'am. Will it be allowed next year? Yes. Now this is emotional side of the no critics. समझ में आया? If any expense is due in March, make sure you pay it before due date of filing the return. Otherwise, it will be disallowed under section 43B. Again, then it will be allowed. When it will be allowed? It will be allowed in year when you claim it. Okay? Right. So, deductions in respect of following sum is allowed only on payment basis. Any sum, tax, duty, cess and all to government. Any sum payable by way of contribution, PF, ESIC. PF to no time limit is there. I'll come PF, there's an important amendment. But all welfare measures. Bonus and commission. March में बड़े smartly लिखते हैं. Bonus to outstanding bonus. अरे but pay the outstanding bonus in April, May, June. Otherwise not allowed. Interest payable to the banks. Employee को जो leave salary होती है ना, credit which you have to pay if they have not worked on the day of holiday, they get paid leave salaries. So that salary pay them actually. Some payable to Indian Railways. Important amendment for PF is PF payments are due by 15th of the next month. So if you don't pay by 15th of the next month, it will be disallowed. Section 43B is not applicable to PF. So February का PF 15th March की जगह 18th March को pay किया. But ma'am, I have paid before due date of filing the return. Will it be allowed? No. Okay, right. Stamp duty related some provisions are there. This we will revise with the capital gains chapter. Coming now to the bread and butter of we chartered accountants, that is section 44AA. This will be very clear with the gist booster notes which I have put here. You can pause the screen and take this in your notes. That important. Chalo, ye dekho. What am I teaching you, dear students? 44A says, ma'am, when do I maintain books of accounts? There. Are you an individual and HUF? If your income exceeds 2,50,000, turnover exceeds 25 lakhs in any of the 3 preceding previous year, this financial year ko chhod ke last 3 years, then you have to maintain books of accounts. Is the gist clear? The notes mein detail diya hai, but I have given you the gist. You are other SSEs, other than individual HUF, LLP, firm, company. Is your income exceeding 120? Or is your turnover or gross receipt, if you are a professional, is exceeding 10 lakhs in any of the 3 preceding previous year, maintain books of accounts. Ma'am, this year my turnover is only 8 lakhs, but last year it was 12 lakhs. Do I need to maintain? Yes. Any of the 3 years if it is exceeding 10, and these conditions are also or. Turnover exceed हुआ, income exceed नहीं हुई, तो we have to maintain the books of accounts. Suppose you are a professional. If your income exceeds 150, turnover there is no limit. In all the 3 years, in all the 3 preceding years, if your income exceeds rupees 1,50,000, maintain books of accounts. Clear to all of you? Right. All right. And once if I say, yeah, ma'am, now I'm falling in this condition. Look at this example. Check 18-19 में 16 lakhs का turnover, 19-20 26, 20-21 40, and say he's a प्रोफेशनल नहीं, अदर्स आएगा. प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए तो टर्नओवर का लिमिट ही नहीं है, मैंने गलत प्रिंट किया, अदर्स आएगा यहाँ पे. और इन केस ऑफ इंडिविजुअल, इन अदर्स और इंडिविजुअल, तो इन केस ऑफ अदर्स, in the last 3 years, is your turnover exceeding 10 lakhs? Yes. Do they have to maintain the books? Yes. Now, in the last 3 years, if you are individual and HUL, is your turnover exceeding 25 lakhs? Any one of the year? Any one of the year? Yes. You too have to maintain the books. Now, if you are a professionals, okay, professionals के लिए income का limit तो है, turnover limit is not given for the professionals. If the income exceeds 1,50,000 in all the 3 years, then this example is not applicable to the professionals. So if I say maintain the books, then all these books you have to maintain, that you can see the list, and you have to maintain the books 7 years from the current year or 6 years from the assessment year. Now, 44AB. When do you have to get your books audited by a CA and submit the audit report by 30th of September and then file your return by 31st of October? When your turnover exceeds 1 crore in your business. If you are a professional, your turnover exceeds 50 lakhs. Or if you are doing non-resident koi business, या presumptive taxation, and you are arguing with the government, no, मेरे business में तो इतना profit margin ही नहीं. Like if you opt for 44AD, government is saying on 100 rupees turnover, show 8% net profit, don't maintain the books, don't get it audited. You see, ma'am, मेरी business में 8% margin ही नहीं है, 3% है. Okay, maintain the books, get it audited. If you want to show lower income, where SSC is carrying on these businesses and he wants to show lower income, then given. So what are the 3 cases when you have to get your books of accounts audited? Business turnover exceeds 1 crore. Professionals gross receipts exceed 50 lakhs. And clear? Right. There's an amendment in this that people who are doing only online business and who get all their turnover in bank, they make all their payments from bank. Government is saying, Aapna don't take burden of tax audit. For you till 10 crore turnover, no tax audit. No tax audit till 10 crore turnover. If your total receipts may say cash receipts are only up to 5%, less than or 5%. Total payment less than 5% in cash. Like for example, Amazon and all, 100% billing is done online, payment comes online. So for them, what is the tax audit limit? 10 crore. This is the recent amendment of this year. They can frame and ask question here. Till 30th September, you have to get the books audited with CA and submit the report. And next month, all the working partners and everyone should file the return. If not, up to 1,50,000 pen. ये कोई terms में doubt है तो पूछो. Ask. Section 44A, maintain the books. 44AB is like bread and butter for us. get the books audited from a CA. All clear? Right. Make a table. अभी मैंने तो बहुत टेबल बनाए हैं, पर आपको बनाना है तो भी बना सकते हैं. 44 AD is presumptive from the name only. Assume it's an optional scheme. Assume if your turnover is up to 2 crore, you can go for 44 AD. Say your turnover is 60 lakhs. On that 8% you show net profit. See, if you are earning 100, government is saying 82 rupees is all your trading P&L expense. 8 rupees you show net profit. What is 60 lakhs ka 8%? 60 lakhs 8% comes to how much? 6 8 is 4,80,000. Show net profit, pay the tax, don't maintain books, don't get it audited. Turnover details you can have from your GST return. Above 20 lakhs, GST return to anyhow is there, no? So from there you can get. Clear, clear, clear? So what is presumptive taxation? If you are a retailer, you don't want to go in hassles in maintaining the books. If your turnover is up to 2 crore, you can go for presumptive taxation. Whatever is your turnover matching with your GST turnover, show 8% net profit. Ma'am, can I show 14% net profit? Yes, you can show higher amount. Ma'am, but in 8% net profit, is depreciation allowed? Is scientific research allowed? Nothing is allowed. All is assumed to be allowed in 92. If it is a partnership firm, salary and remuneration to partners is also not allowed. Clear to all of you or not? Okay, right. So that's all. Yeah, here also one change is done from this year. If you are doing business, whatever is your turnover through card swiping से भी business होता है ना, so that's your online business. Card swiping होता है, the money comes in your bank account on next day. On that, just show 6% net profit, and on your cash business, 8%. Simple. 4480, one line answer. 4480 turnover limit is 2 crore. Tax audit, the turnover limit is 1 crore. And you know, because people are going for 4480 presumptive taxation, they can pay their advance tax in single installment instead of 4 installments by 15th of March. Salary, interest, remuneration paid to partners is not allowed. Not allowed. And once you come out, non-offering of income for 5 continuous years, you should opt for 4480. If you come out from 4480, you are not allowed to again go for 4480 till the next 5 years. ये year खत्म होने के बाद, till the next 5 years, you are not allowed to go for 4480. Clear? These are all examples. 44ADA, presumptive taxation for professionals. Professionals, if your income is up to 50 lakhs, you can go. 50 lakhs hai agar income, so you can go for presumptive taxation. Chartered accountant ki firm hai, and they have their gross receipts 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs का 50% कितना आता है? 15 लाख रुपए net profit बताओ, tax pay करो, no books, nothing. So 50% of the gross. Ma'am, why 50%? Because professionals have higher margin. Income is low, margin is high. Businesses have high turnover and margins are low. Last in the series, are you all remembering the sections? ये थोड़े वाले, dear students, ये बड़े अच्छे हैं. What is 44AA? Maintain books of accounts. 44AB? Audit. 44AD? Presumptive taxation for business. 44ADA? Presumptive taxation for professionals. And now here 44AE, transporter का business है, having up to 10 vehicles, not more than 10 vehicles. And if you are business of flying, hiring, leasing, then per light goods vehicle, you show 7,500 per month or part of the month income per vehicle. So I have 6 light goods vehicle, 7,500, and I purchased the six vehicle in July, 1st July. So per month, how many months? 9 months. Ma'am, I purchased on 31st January. So 2 months or 3 months? 3 months, part of the month. 31st Jan को भी खरीदे तो जनवरी के लिए 7,500, फरवरी के लिए 7,000 and मार्च के लिए भी 7,500. Clear? Light goods vehicle. Coming to heavy goods vehicle, 1,000 per ton per vehicle per month. 1,000 rupees income you have to show per ton. Suppose you have a vehicle with 17 tons capacity. 1,000 per ton, 17 tons, and you have such 2 vehicles and you purchased it on 1st February. I'm literally solving MCQ के problem. 17 टन के 2 व्हीकल है मेरे पास, तो पर टन कितना इनकम बताना है? हेवी गुड्स व्हीकल 1000. हाउ मेनी व्हीकल्स? 2. 22 by 1st February, तो February and March. But if you have up to 10 vehicles, more than 10 vehicles, you are doing huge. Yeah, and from 44A, salary and interest is allowed. I made a separate 20 minutes video with the table in case if you wish to revise, you can. Salary and interest paid to the partner is allowed in 44A, not allowed in 44AD and 44ADA. Is it clear to all of you, right? What is definitions and all you can read. And non-resident shipping companies, if they come to India, we say just show 7.5% profit and bye-bye. So they don't have to wait, they will get tax clearance certificate and then only ship is allowed to leave the shore. Aircraft ka business hai to 5% bata do. So these are rates, I think you read it. Yeah, sometimes instead of net profit, dear students, very important, if they give you receipt and payment. Can you solve the problem? Huh? I know we've gone a little longer, but thank you so much for all the patience. No problem. Pick up directly the professional income from the receipt side and professional expenses and score marks in exam. Ma'am, आपने तो net profit से adless सिखाया exam में तो ना कुछ नया ही आ गया. Don't do that, please. Followed all of you. Pick up the incomes, pick up the expense, calculate and finish. So we have finished with the marathon of this business head. I know it is really vast, almost 2 hours, maybe 20 minutes less. And the next 20 minutes are like assessment of partnership firm, which is actually very important. We'll take a quick break and continue. Thank you so much for watching this video till here. And if you really feel I've taken great efforts in making these booster notes and these videos conceptually clear, itne sare exam ke papers, I correct mock test papers. So I remember salary here, allowed here, that in-depth comparative teaching if I'm doing, linking up if you're getting, help me to reach out through India, share this video, comment below the video. No, dear students, हमेशा बोलती हूँ आप लोग comment करते नहीं हैं. एक like कर दो, एक comment कर दो और ना इसको share कर दो 4-5 friends से. Help me to reach this conceptual knowledge. I'm having that mission across India and in the other countries also, wherever students are writing CACM and all these exams, right? Thank you so much. And we'll continue this with assessment of partnership firm in the next part, right? All right, so now we are starting with the last topic in the business head, separately also very, very important, and that is assessment of partnership firm. How you are calculating the tax on partnership firm, how much maximum interest, salary and remuneration you can pay, that's what we will discuss here. So first important thing is, when we are talking about partnership firm, whatever interest, salary, remuneration they pay to partners, that is taxable in the hands of the partners as business income, because there is no employer-employee relationship, right? So interest, coming to interest first, interest is allowed maximum up to 12% on the capital, that too according to the deed. If it is not mentioned in deed and if you pay 6% also, it is not allowed. and interest on capital will be allowed from the date on which it is mentioned in the deed that day onwards. For example, partnership started from 1st of April 21, but in July the deed is prepared and interest on capital clause you have put. So when the interest on capital will be allowed from 1st of July. How much is it allowed? Maximum 12%, irrespective of the rates mentioned in the deed. Now some small exercise which we did in our regular class, I'll share it in the booster notes here. This booster notes I hope clear. ये सब हमने किया ना अभी, ठीक है, अगर जरूरत भी है तो end में we will revise right now. Partnership, assessment of partnership firms से related. One second. These are the problems. How much you can pay, the remuneration, and 44, 46 problem. One second. Yeah, here I go. Interest on capital and loan is allowed. These are the handwritten booster notes in the regular class. And I'm typing all and putting it as a PDF in our Concept Classes app. In the free content, you can download all these PDF booster notes. Interest on capital and loan is allowed if included in the partnership deed, paid from the date when it is included in the partnership deed. Maximum allowed is 12%. Now look at this example. If you have given 10% interest, but in deed it is mentioned 10%, how much is it allowed? 10. Ma'am, you said 12. 12 is the upper limit. So if you have paid 12 and in the deed it is mentioned, if you have paid 10%, in deed it is mentioned 10%, how much will be allowed? 10. You have paid 15%, in deed it is mentioned 12%, how much will be allowed? 12%. You have given 15%, but deed is silent. There is no mention of the interest on capital. How much is allowed? Nothing is allowed. Given in, you have 20% given. Deed mate is mentioned 18%. How much is allowed? Though deed mate is mentioned 18% and you have given 20, some of you may be saying, ma'am, 18% to allow karo deed ke hisab se. But what is the income tax limit? 12%. You have given 15, but in the partnership deed mentioned is 10%. So 10% will only be allowed, not even 12. I hope these examples are clear. You can pause the video, take it down. 30% you have given and 30% you have mentioned in the deed also. Still, how much will be allowed? 12%. Nothing you have given, this just I've added, and nothing mentioned in the deed, then how much is allowed? Nothing, right? So interest in capital is like 36,000. Nice example. This is, pay attention. 18% ke hisab se you have given 36,000. How much is allowed? 12%. How much is disallowed? 6%. Now what I am saying, 12,000 is the excess interest. 12,000 is the excess interest which is disallowed in the hands of the firm. Firm had to pay 12%, that is 24,000. 18% के हिसाब से 36,000 है, तो 12% is allowed, 6% is disallowed. This is a very important point I am discussing. Pay attention once again. 6% is disallowed in the hands of the firm. Firm is already paying tax. Then what is the taxable interest in the hands of the partner? Only what is allowed, that is 12%. Ma'am, but partner has received 36,000 interest, but already 12,000 interest is disallowed in the hands of the partnership firm, and partnership firm is already paying tax on that. Then how much will it be allowed in the hands of the partner? Yes, how much will it be allowed? It will be allowed, or taxable कितना होगा partner के हक में? 12%, because 6% excess interest paid is disallowed in the hands of the firm itself. Is this part clear to all of you? Right? Okay. Partnership firm is paying 30% tax plus ESET surcharge all. Any salary, remuneration, interest on capital which is allowed to partnership firm, it is taxable in the hands of the partners as business income, right? So excess salary or interest paid above the limit is disallowed in the hands of the firm. Salary you can pay as per that 2 lakh, you paid 3 lakh. So 1 lakh is disallowed in the hands of the firm, firm is paying tax. So in the hands of partner, how much it will be taxable? Only 2 lakh. And share of profit received by partner is exempt in the hands of the partner. Clear or not? Now, remuneration. Remuneration includes salary, bonus, commission, all under section 40B. How much you can pay? On book profit. What is book profit, dear students? Net profit and all the add and less which we have discussed in the last 2 hours. Net profit and all the add and less which we have discussed in the last 2 hours. That is disallowed expense, add back, income related to other heads, nikal do. Now what you get your business income as your book profit. On this book profit up to 3 lakh or on the first 3 lakh, 90% or 1,50,000, whichever is higher. Suppose your remuneration is 3 lakh, 90% kitna aa raha hai? 270. How much remuneration you can pay? 2,70,000. But suppose your profit is just 30,000 or there is a loss. Can you say, sorry, you are a working partner, you have put so many efforts, but this time we are into loss. We cannot pay you salary. Is it correct? No. Loss hai to increase the loss, but pay minimum salary. So in case of loss, how much salary you can pay? 1,50,000. Is this clear to all of you? Right? And on balance beyond 3 lakh, it is 60%. So suppose your book profit is 4 lakh. On the first 3 lakh, 90%. On the balance 1 lakh, 60%. Okay? Right. Now, you have paid remuneration 120. Allowed is 2 lakh. Maximum allowed as per this limit is 2 lakh. But you have paid 120. So finally, how much you will deduct in your return? 120. You have paid 5 lakh salary. But allowed is only 2 lakh. So finally, you will deduct how much? 2 lakh. What is allowed? उससे ज़्यादा तो नहीं कर सकते. But allowed से if you have paid less, deduct less. And when you take book profit, add back the remuneration they have already paid so that you get book profit before the remuneration and then calculate the remuneration. Is this clear to all of you? So these are all my running notes. See, I'm just scrolling up and showing you. Related to NABARD also we have written 33 AD, ADA. Tea coffee may keep 40% profit separate. This is all for goodwill. Did I say goodwill is not taxable? So suppose in 2018 goodwill was 20 rupees. What is after depreciated value? 11.25. So from 1st April 20 onwards, no depreciation on the goodwill. So keep this goodwill ko alag se nikal ke rakh do. Suppose in 24-25, you sell this goodwill 11.25, calculate capital gain, and immediately you sell it for short-term capital gain. Right. I'm just going reverse and sharing all my, see, this is the format of intangible assets. These are all the booster notes related to assets which I have discussed. Additional depreciation. Nice points, these are all. Okay, let me go to the main book, and if you have any doubts, you can ask here. Yeah, just 2 minutes. Please wait, dear students. We will go to the assessment of the partner. See, how much interest on capital is allowed if it is authorized by the deed? Period falling after the deed, 12% maximum. Salary bonus, how much is allowed? As per the deed, working partner ko allowed hai up to 3 lakh or in case of loss, 1,50,000. Mark it, super important for MCQs. They'll frame MCQs that if there is a loss or if the partnership firm is having only 2,000 profit, how much salary you can give to the partner? 150. And this is not per partner, this is total. On the balance, how much? 60%. Okay, right. So this is all. Yeah, I want to say sometimes, in exam, they ask a question of loss. Instead of net profit, if there is net loss, put it in bracket, but add and less concept will be same. Just don't reverse it. Okay. So here we complete with a super duper 2 hours revision, marathon revision of business head. Anywhere you have any doubt, click the photo, send it to us in the Telegram group, not personal chat, please. And wait for 48 hours with your voice note. Surely I'll clear. I do it within 24 hours, but just say. Thank you so much. All my blessings and wishes are with you, always there to support you all and prepare super well. Make most use of these marathon videos. I've already uploaded marathon videos for accounts and costing. These 3 subjects are core subjects which I've been teaching since last 21 years. When I teach ad less in business ed, I remember integrated and non-integrated ad and less, right? So wishing the best for you and me. Help me reach more students. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. God bless.